Hello, hello again. Shaboom, shaboom. Okay, I'm here. Happy New Year. Oh, well. We're just going to stir right in. I'm just turning them over now. I'm using Manzel's Tarot, Manzel Bowman's Tarot, um, which is a more advanced deck because, as far as I know, it doesn't come with a book, or at least I've never had a book for it. And you know the deal. And if you don't know the deal, it's concern, opportunity, obstacle, an advantage version. Concern, opportunity, obstacle, advantage aversion. And this is going to be the reading for January, the monthly read. We begin with the Tower. And this card flipped over when I was like shuffling, and I was like, okay, January, what's the concern? And this card was like, blam. But it didn't flip over. I mean, it came out, but I didn't know it was the Tower until I had turned it over just when you had seen me do it. So the Tower, well, we do know we're going in the States, ideally through a regime change. And we do know that going through regime change also, okay, look, yes, lesser of the same dysfunctionality regimes, yes, but every change is a total change, right? Like, this is the thing that people don't appreciate in linear reality. An incremental change is a change. And if you don't appreciate that, then you won't appreciate entire periods of your existence when you just can't get very far with what you're doing. Like, it doesn't matter if it's incremental, it doesn't matter if it is major. It matters that the change is continuous, that is attended to, and that it's intentional. And so, whatever our opinions may be about the polarity of the states and of the world and of the state of things as they are for humanity, it's a change. This is what I'm going to say. So the Tower, though, is the beginning of an unraveling, right? Because it isn't an enormous change, but what it does allow for is for people who imagined that there was a way of going back to understand in totality that the only way is forward, right? Because just because, a different or seemingly more liberal or open-minded individual enters into any sort of body of office, including like even parenthood, right? Like any position of power, office, of import, it's not indicative of people going forward. It's indicative of a moment in time where a choice was decided, but then once we commit to a path, right, we actually have to take that path. And so that path is the part that's going to be the Tower, right? The concern, things coming down. And so obviously there's going to be reactivity. The Tower is a active card. We got lightning in the Manzel Bowman Tarot, which I like very much. And clearing the air. Clearing the air also means things coming to light, right? Like, I've been saying this for a very long time, in various arenas, but 2021 is a year of patriarchy and classism really having their asses laid bare. And that's going to take a lot of things coming to the surface, right? Just like any toxicity, when it comes to the surface, it creates a lot of byproduct, mucus, waste, whatever, bile, whatever you want to call it. And so for that reason, we do have to go through that transmutational process, and we do have to experience what it means to actually go through what we may deem as the ugly part of transformation. But our opportunity obstacle is the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands, especially, let's look at it in the sky, with 4 stars above and 4 staffs of power. Sorry, they're holographic, so give me a second here to make sure I can see things. We have what looks like, almost an animal energy with a person energy, and this person to me looks kind of androgynous. If you ask myself, if you ask me, oh my God, the lighting really changed there. Come back to colors of difference. So with the Four of Wands, though, we have like, I say this to couples, and there's certain contexts where I will tell people, hey, like the thing that you imagine, like this thing was began for, the thing that this, and I'll fill in the blank in a minute, but the thing that this thing began for, it has been accomplished. So now if you're doing this thing, it's not for that reason anymore, it's for another reason, and the reason has evolved and changed, right? So the example, originally we created, social bonds that were sedentary and more, like segregative and I don't know what the word is, binary. I'm talking about the nuclear family, but it's beyond the nuclear family because the nuclear family is not that old of a concept, obviously, because nuclear power isn't that old of a concept in the sense that it's meant. But like, humanity, we needed humanity to continue, and we needed people to carry on the line, and we needed people to give birth, and we needed people to seed, and we needed children, and we needed babies, and we needed to continue the population. And now, not that we don't need to, but meaning like there are 8 billion people. So that mission has been accomplished. We have continued the line, even if I never have kids or many, many millions of people never have children, there will be many more human beings for a long, 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 long time. And for that reason, like nobody going into a romantic relationship is saving the fucking world. Like humanity is here. Like we gonna continue whether or not you choose to be in this relationship, whether or not you choose to have babies, like humanity has got itself. So the relationship is 100% optional. And considering you're saving no lives and doing no one a favor, like, do you still want to be in a relationship? So the Four of Wands to me after the Tower, especially when this is a major arcana, spiritual, collective scale reckoning, then we come to this sort of sweet card, the Four of Wands. And I think that that's because, as I said, when the train comes to a stop and comes off the tracks, and when we're at a point where we realize that what we thought was reality was just a series of small decisions being made individually and collectively and then mutually agreed upon to some degree, then it comes to a conversation of the Four of Wands where it's like, okay, well, if I'm not going back, if there's no going back because that shit has crumbled, like, what am I to myself? What am I to existence? What am I to me? What do I want to make of myself? What's important? What's relevant? What do I want to be doing? And the Four of Wands is traditionally a celebratory card and a card about sort of like gathering and jubilation, and there's excitement in the card. And I think that this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful year of artistic, spiritual, communal reckoning and awakening in ways where people realize like the way that society functions hasn't actually supported them in a really long time. And just like when you get something that you need after a long time of not even realizing you didn't have it, that has a BALM, a bomb, that has a quality that brings something to your quality of life and to your experience that is palpable and that is unavoidable and that is very clearly beyond any sort of material construct. Peace of spirit, equilibrium, peace of mind, joy. These are true rewards. And once people get more into what they want to be doing rather than what everybody else shouldn't be doing, they will be far more along this journey in terms of the opportunity. But this card can also, of course, mean, not seeing any good, right? Like every change is a total change. It's still, this is what people don't appreciate about the parable, the tortoise and the hare. People want hare progress. And that motherfucker don't pay attention to details and doesn't appreciate steadiness and sustainability, and also is really disrespectful. Like in every parable, the hare is mad disrespectful. And look, I was born in the year of the rabbit, okay? I love rabbits as much as I love turtles. But like the opposite, I don't typically read reverse, and maybe I'll start reading reverse again. I'll check the energies. But like when this energy isn't being appreciated, it's kind of like, well, if it's not everything that I want, then it's nothing. And that's some binary ass motherfucking thinking, okay? It's my opinion. I said it. There it is. Our advantage aversion, what inside our character is going to work for our benefit or against our benefit? Because our concern is what is objectively, subjectively going on. And then our opportunity obstacle is what outside of us are we utilizing as an opportunity or an obstacle to do and say what we said we would be doing and saying. And then we get to that inner work, the advantage aversion, what within our own character is serving us or not serving us. And we have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is one of the cards. I don't quite call it this, but I do think of it as lamentation, lamentation. Woe is me upon the mountain, looking out upon the vast things that might be, but wondering about what was. And the Eight of Cups can have a quality, not in this deck, so we'll talk about that this much a little bit in a minute, but like the Eight of Cups has a quality, I think, where people are sort of savoring the last drop of something that's gone, right? You know, when you love something so much, it is a quality of love when you love something so much that you'll, you know, lick the bowl or lick the plate or like drink the last drop. But once it's empty, right, there's only so much more you can get out of that. So, but there are people who will really be on an empty cup, like, and eventually it is actually empty, like it is now, and you are just drinking phantoms, right? You're imagining that something that was there is coming back, and it's not, okay? So the advantage in the version, especially in this card, because look at that gateway. Look at that teacher elder right there. Yo, the detail on this camera is fucking sick. I think that's a ruby. Look at that guy. There's a teacher, you know, when the student is ready, the master appears. Students, we are ready. You see this mirror? We are ready. We are ready to see ourselves. We are ready to put down our shackles. We are ready to live the dream and the liberation, the liberatory dream, which is that we are, you know, the kids are all right. Existence didn't make a mistake. This isn't original sin. This isn't, you know, inherently nothing. It's a lot of things. And that's the conversation that we get into 2021. But first, some crumbling. So when things crumble and they make way, existence abhors a vacuum, see where your energy actually wants to be going, not where it was and where it wishes it could get back to, so it doesn't think about where it wants to be going, but where it actually wants to be going. Thank you for y'all's patience. And here's the January 2021 monthly read. So thank you, and I'll talk to you again next month in this fashion. Toodles!